And a lot of coaches have their DVD sets or streaming that you can purchase too. So there's a
Mhm.
ton of information out. What I find that's interesting is how many don't utilize that.
Right, right.
I
Oh,
mean,
man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't. I mean, that's a whole nother thing. But I'm always interested on who is not utilizing the information that's out there. Is always very surprising to me. I don't know. Maybe this is a pet peeve of one of an author that's out there, but I find it interesting that nobody they'll ask questions, but nobody will Google first.
Oh, that's
To
well said.
find
Yeah,
to
yeah.
find a lot of information. They'll ask in Facebook, but they haven't Googled or ChatGPT. I know a lot of people aren't there yet, but Googled, oh my god, the amount of information that comes back, is crazy, and they'll ask questions at a forum where a lot of the answers, are they really coaches? You're kinda getting
Right,
catfished, I
right.
feel like. Some of the answers I see, it's like, "Ooh, they got catfished on that deal."
Okay, Coach Parker, welcome back.
Zach, great to be back. How are you?
It's always good to be with you, Coach. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to effectively use the off season to improve your coaching. And you gave me a bunch of notes that I think are great, and
Well, I
I think this is
appreciate it.
really good.
I appreciate it. I think we're timely. Some folks I know I posted in my forums who was still in the hunt and who was out. So there's a few still in the hunt, which is great. Keep going. Good luck, good skill. And if you're out, well, I think this podcast is timely right now. And for you guys that are after your Super Bowls and championships, when you win those, you can jump right in with this again.
Yeah, I think this is what in the business they call an evergreen episode. It's one that you can listen to no matter what time of year you're in.
Yeah, yeah, because all champions are made in the off season and the season. I mean, to
Mhm.
me, I'm always studying and trying to learn stuff. So I think this goes. It doesn't have to be the off season. Some of these things I think you can do all the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't end up like using it this year, but I was planning like the off season and the season this time last year during the year. You start to put your calendar together and what are we going to do here? How are we going to do this? And then obviously that can change, but I think you need to start that process at the end of your season so you can rework it as you need to as that time
Right.
gets closer.
Everything should evolve. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, do you want to start this one since I let you pick this one this week, and I'd like to
Shoot, let's
hear
do it.
what high school coaches do versus non-professionals like myself.
Oh my gosh, stop with that mess. Um, so yeah, like goals. I was looking at number one, our notes, goals, calendar open. Yeah, it's what do I want to learn? What do we need to learn as a staff? What do we need to do better as a program?
Yep.
And then finding people who fit that and going and learning from them and trying to track them down because it's not always like you can Google who for somebody, but you then want to find, okay, who's the guy I really want to talk to and go meet with.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's guys that are good at TikTok, Instagram, and the internet, and then there's
Mhm,
guys that are the real guys behind that actually did a lot of that work and may not be as talkative or good online or whatever. And if
mhm.
you could find those guys that really mind of the football coach dude that really put it together, right? I think that's what we're going for. That's awesome because they've
Yeah,
done a lot of the homework that other people are kind of using.
yeah, and the off season is a certain amount of time, right? So it's whenever your season's over until I don't know, I say March, April,
Yeah.
May, but then you're trying to budget that. Okay, we need some time off. We have to spend time with our players. How much time are we going to use for clinics? Air quotes.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do the Glacier, the Nike.
I was gonna
I
ask
haven't done
you
those in a while.
I was gonna ask you about that because I was the same way when I first got started.
Mm,
I Glacier, Nike, whatever local high school clinics. I did, 5 or 6 of those. And then I don't know, I felt like they were the same thing every year. Is that what you felt? I mean, it was like there was some new stuff, but I thought the benefits weren't there after you've been to several. You're kinda running into the same speakers in just a little bit different ways. Is that what you got the feeling from?
I definitely, and those clinics, especially the Nike clinics, are usually very successful college coaches. Awesome. Good for them. I'm sure you can learn something from them. But I just found over the years what their personnel and their situation and my personnel and my situation couldn't be more different.
Yeah.
And I get the scheme is scheme to some degree, but I don't recruit that guy they're showing me on film, and I may not have those people, so I have to look for a different answer.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, because of youth. I mean, the Nike's college, Glazier's kinda like more high school, and some of the what is it? There's another one, there's coaches clinic or the whatever for
Mm,
Texas has got one where all the coaches get together. I feel
mhm,
like those are really geared to high school, and a lot of that's
mm,
fun to learn, and you can, but you have to then dumb that down for youth. So a lot of it was like, what you want to find, and I found a couple of these, is when they have a youth group, a set of youth coaches, and that's really what you want to look for, I think, unless you
mhm,
just want to, up your game on that.
mhm. Is it the one of the ones I've came into I actually watched an online clinic was the San Angelo clinic, I think that's what it's called. Um, the coaches from John Curtis Christian School in Louisiana spoke there, and they're split back veer, old school throwback offense, and they actually their youth league is their school, so it runs their same system, a very minimal version of their
Right.
system, to start with, and it expands as they get older. Uh, but like we
Yeah,
were saying in our previous podcast, that's the kind of place you can do that
yeah,
because
I
those kids
think,
are
I
going to play
mean,
at your school.
YouTube is, I mean, great for how to fix this and do this, and also all these clinics that were filmed. Maybe you don't want to pay for Glacier, but
Hmm.
usually there's some part of that clinic or person that's speaking on YouTube that somebody's filmed, or their old DVD set is pirated on there somewhere. And I mean, it's crazy what's actually out there. So YouTube is a really, really good one for clinics there.
It really is. And another one I was thinking about this evening is the NFHS network. You can
Yeah.
pay for like a year long subscription for a high school guy. I can go study people's film. I want to go study, and I
Yeah, that
can
was the
go
high
watch
school
that.
coaches one I was thinking about. Yeah, that's a real good one there. I mean, CoachTube also is another
Mhm.
website that has a lot of clinics that you can purchase, and a lot of coaches have their DVD sets or streaming that you can purchase too, so there's a
Mhm.
ton of information out. What I find that's interesting is how many don't utilize that.
Right, right.
I
Oh,
mean
man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't, I mean, that's a whole whole 'nother thing, but I'm always interested on who is not utilizing the information that's out there, is always very surprising to me. I don't know, maybe this is a pet peeve of one of an author that's out there, but I find it interesting that nobody they'll ask questions, but nobody will Google first.
Oh, that's
To
well said.
find
Yeah,
to
yeah.
find a lot of information. They'll ask in Facebook, but they haven't Googled or ChatGPT. I know a lot of people aren't there yet, but Google, oh my God, the amount of information that comes back uh, is crazy. And they'll ask questions at a forum where a lot of the answers are they really coaches? You're kind of getting
Right,
catfished. I
right.
feel like some of the answers I see, it's like, ooh, they got catfished on that deal. So, and it's too many to respond to. I mean, isn't that weird? Does that mean that I say that?
No, because it's so
Do you see this?
okay. So let's, for example, we're both rocking the beast hat because you gave me a beast hat. I wear this everywhere, and when I go places on the weekends, I'm wearing this hat everywhere I
Oh,
go.
really?
I'm sure
What
people
the
look at it like, "What is that?" I'm like, you don't even know because it's the best thing out there."
Oh, I appreciate it, dude. I really do.
But it's so, for example, the beast offense. There are so many knockoffs of what is
Yeah.
your original, to be candid. And if you don't research that and go past like some TikToks or Instagram or whatever, you don't get to the guy you really want to talk to, like you, right? And I
Yeah,
did
that's
this
what
with another
that's what I
scheme.
it's very frustrating, but, I tell myself that, not that I'm Coach McKay from USC in the I formation, but it's like the book has been out almost 10 years now, so
Mhm,
everybody has claimed it, like, and
mhm,
I need to be if you love it, you let it go, and I'm happy everybody has kinda found it. It's very
mhm.
interesting that everybody hated it about 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden, it, like, takes off, and that's awesome. That really is.
Mhm. I was watching Tennessee play last night, and they have 2 wide receivers on the ball, then there's 2 full like, tight end fullbacks, whatever you wanna
Yeah, I
H-back,
think
however
I
you
saw this, yeah.
classify them. They're behind, like, the tackles, and there's a quarterback and there's a tailback behind, and everybody is going to some variation of 3 back, if you
Yeah,
count the quarterback, 4 back, goal line, short yardage,
with
everybody is
like,
going
with
to that.
4 tight end fullbacks or whatever
Oh,
in
yeah.
or F
Just
backs
yeah.
where yeah, there was a nice shift that somebody did to the Wildcat. Their
Mhm,
quarterback kinda went over, and these 2 huge tight ends, fullbacks, or even linemen come across on the counter. I mean, it was
mhm,
like, "Oh my god, this is, this is amazing." It's
mhm.
absolutely amazing. I mean, to me, that's a fat cat or tomcat counter, and it was so beautiful to see that happen, and I'm so happy. And, I mean, we were talking about last week, that 4th down those 4th downs, I mean, Andy Reid just went for a bunch of 4th downs in this game against the Bills, so this whole
Mhm.
power 4th down thing, everybody's not kinda spready anymore, or that's the thing I think is coming, and it's great. And that's what
I
everybody
also
should be researching.
I agree no, I agree 100%, and I think too, you look at what is the weakness of the modern offense? It's short yardage.
It's
It's
short yardage.
goal
I don't know
line.
how
It's
many
all that.
times have you seen a spread team throw all 4 downs for, like, a yard? I don't know, I've seen it so many times in Texas high school football. Oh, I'm like, "Oh my god, you have got to be kidding me. Why don't can you just run an option or something?" I mean, I don't get it, but yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a huge weakness on offenses, and I think on the defensive side for high school coaches to look at that this old power systems, you don't have to be only one offense. You can actually run a beast
Mhm.
or a power formation with your spread. I don't know what it's interesting. Alabama started doing it with Saban where he would run it more like power and spread together. In and I see all these high schools, they'll just stick in one formation and they have so much practice time. Do you I mean, I know we're kinda getting off subject here. Do you feel
No,
like
let's do it.
you don't have enough practice time to put in it? So say you're running
Mhm.
the spread, and let's say you wanna put in a 6-play T formation or a beast or an offset I kinda thing. Do you not have time to do that?
It's so interesting you said that. You asked that question. When we when I was last a spread coach due to personnel, we had some really fast little guys,
Right.
but we also had some linebackers that we could use as fullbacks.
Right.
So my call sheet was 2 by 2, 3 by 1, but
Right.
I always had either 20 personnel with a fullback in the game
Yep.
or a 30 personnel or even sometimes a 31 personnel short
Right.
yardage goal line. Or for us, we really had one quarterback, legitimately one quarterback. So if he got hurt,
You had to
we just
have.
we put a skill guy back there and just said
Yeah.
catch. And we worked, obviously we practiced him catching the snap. but
Right.
it wasn't like he had to practice under center. He just caught the snap and here's the hole you're running to. We numbered them like you do.
Yeah,
And so that was our
it's such a
backup
sim
plan.
yeah, it's so simple to do that. You can I feel like you could put in like in the fat cat thing or cake or whatever I call it, whichever week I call it in. I mean, to run downhill with those 2 lead blockers and then, your quarterback can go somewhere, you put another, tight end in. I mean, you got what, 10 plays
Mhm,
downhill to hit every hole?
mhm.
So I don't know. I always think it's funny that my 10U team could run more formations and play than my son's 2 sons' high school teams. It's
Well, I
amazing
think
to me, but
some of that too is I think coaches are afraid to be different. I think that's some of it. I think some of it is this is different. Maybe the parents won't like it, a parent won't like it. Not all the parents, but it's wanting to just fit in is some of it. I think that's what I see as on
yeah,
at the high school level.
yeah, I do too, and that gets back to doing an autopsy of
Hmm.
what you're doing as a coach. I mean, that's one of the things that I know I like to do at the end of the season is go back through self-reflect how I was a coach, how our team did, those strengths and weaknesses, and really go through this whole autopsy of the team, the coaches, the players, the parents of what we all could have done better, and then what are those strengths and weaknesses to go through. And that's a heavy dose of actually scouting yourself as a team, offensive, defensively, and being
Hmm.
you can BS other people, but you really got to be honest. Did this work? And are these players that maybe I went out and got, or think they're studs? Are they? And are they
Hmm.
hindering me? And is this parent? I need to cut this off, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I think once you do all that, that also updates your goals, right? Because
Yeah, it updates.
you're gonna have new things that probably come into that now once you've looked at it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's what worked this year, what didn't, and then looking at your personnel for next year, what's going to work next year, or what do you think's going to work? Because sometimes that changes too as you get into the season. Uh, but yeah, then it's going back and thinking, how do I not make the mistakes I made last year? So how do I
Right.
improve? Who do I talk to? Who do I gain wisdom from to put a tool in my toolbox that I need for
Yeah.
a situation that happened last year? I didn't have a good answer.
One of the things I did, when I was sort of on a semi-select team back in Colorado is I did player evals, coaches
Mhm.
evals, and parent evals of the coaching staff and what I did. And it's interesting what you get back. Now, some of it
Hmm.
you've gotta really self-reflect on because some of it's not
Right.
exactly what you thought you
Mhm.
were, but it's very interesting what comes back, and it'll really kinda be an eye opener for you there. I don't know if you've done this before, but it is, quite interesting. I know at EDS, the General Motors subsidiary that I worked out at, we had employee that evaluations for their managers that would come back, and our boss would get those, so I
Mhm.
got that kind of from there. It's very interesting to see what other people think about you and how to make those adjustments and be a better manager, thus a better coach if you take that information and use it
Mhm.
wisely. Don't
I
use it
need to
to burn somebody with it, but definitely use
right,
it.
right. I need to do that. I think that would be something that would be very helpful. I know I've had just organic conversations with people, with whether that's my bosses, the administrators,
Right.
the AD, the players, certain parents, but I haven't done it formally, and I think that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We've done that also at a league level, for some of the coaches that were getting bad raps or whatever to find out really, you know,
Hmm.
anonymously what was really going on. And a lot when you get that back, what we found is they're not as bad as everybody thought they were. There were 2 or 3 people maybe on a
Uh huh.
20-person
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
So, because the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So it's always the
Hmm.
minority kind of stuff that gets heard versus what the real thing was. So there's
Hmm.
that. So is there anything else in high school that you try to do for your off
Oh
time?
man.
as a
So,
team and
oh, as a team, like what when
well,
you
yeah, just anything. I mean, anything unique that you like that you feel like
hmm,
you done or should have done? That may be a good question. There's a lot of shoulda
yeah,
that we
we
that
did
I
some
probably
cool stuff at a couple places I was. We did a Christmas party in the off season at the first stop as a head coach,
right,
and my wife would bring in food. She'd have it all prepared. We would have a big screen TV put into the weight room. We'd set up
right,
tables and we'd watch the highlight tape. And we would have already had a banquet, but this
right.
was without the parents, more just the players and the coaches having a fun time. We had a photo booth one year,
That's cool.
and
I think it's great
yeah,
for
that was good.
players to see the coach as a normal human. Because
Hmm.
during the season, you can, you're sort of maybe a little bit more assertive than normal, and so
Hmm.
I know it's good to see people as real people. It helped me, I know, in high school because my mother worked for the school district. I saw the coaches uh, outside at parties and stuff, so that was always
Hmm.
interesting to see what they were like outside of work.
What did you do anything for your youth team? What did that look like for you guys?
So we do a lot of pizza party and ice
Mhm.
cream kind of stuff. One season, everybody would come over to my house and we did Tabata, which is just high intensity workouts, and we
Mhm.
would have ice
Nice.
cream and pizza there like once a week, which was crazy fun. So yeah, we used to do a lot of that for 2 seasons when we
Mhm.
had that team together. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, and the film work is amazing too. I mean, if you have your kids over for film.
Mhm. Oh, you had your kids over to your house?
Yes, I've had kids, yeah, I've had kids
Oh,
to my house
wow,
with the
okay.
other coach, and now it's not me. Yeah. So there's parents, they'll come. We'll
Right,
have
of course,
parents
yeah.
come, yeah, guardians and everything, but yeah. So they can come over and, I got a big screen projector thing, and so we'd watch film on that and all around the couches, and then if we wanted to go out, we'd do like battle
What
royals in the backyard.
how did that go with parents sitting there? How did that work?
A lot of times they'll sit there for about 5 minutes behind the couch looking at everybody. There'll be about maybe 8 of them, and then they'll go into
Mhm.
the dining room and sit around and start talking, have coffee, and start playing cards or something and leave us alone.
Okay.
There may be one geek dad that stood around that wants to be on staff, but majority of the moms and stuff would kinda mosey on out and do their other thing.
Mhm. I worked for a guy who told me or he told me that he invited parents to film, and they were welcome to stay as long as they didn't question the coach. So,
Well,
they
yeah,
could
I
ask
mean, that
questions, they just couldn't question the coach. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we like to film practices. I mean, I know we're getting off topic again, because if we have any issues with playtime or whatever, uh,
Mm,
we can send that over and say, "Here is what's going on if you weren't at practice and didn't see this." So
mm.
you can deal with some of that there.
That's
Let's see what
so that's definitely one thing, like, next in my next opportunity or for coaches who are looking to improve, filming practice is a game changer.
oh my god, it's huge. I don't know if I've talked to you about it, but I found that it overcomes my internal bias on this kid's big or he just looks great or he looks like
Mhm,
my youngest son who was good and I want him to be good. Film is like, "Oh my gosh, that
mhm.
dude's backing up. He didn't make
Right,
any
right.
tackles. He didn't do," and this is a diamond in the rough, what we totally miss. I don't know how many times, you're so right. How many diamonds in the rough we found through practice film?
Mhm,
It is crazy good. So, yes, like you, I highly recommend it.
mhm. You were gonna say something, I cut you off there, coach. I apologize, I just
That
wanted to
was
hit
it.
on that.
I'm sorry about that. I probably cut you off.
Oh, good.
My
So
wife see, I'm cutting you off again, like my wife says.
no, go ahead, you go
No,
what were you gonna say?
I'm just old. I forget. I forget what I was gonna say. So you go.
That's funny. One thing I was looking at on this awesome note list is you said write a playbook or ebook. That is so interesting.
Oh my god. Yeah, this one I had to learn myself. I'd written, I'd already written some books, the Beast book, the defensive book, some drills, but I'd written an article on the top 10 plays, and they came from a lot of different formations. I tried to pick all the main formations, and I'd done a survey of what the top formations for youth were. And so it kind of, and people were like, can you write this? Can you write this? And so I started that process. And so I wrote, basically there's like 8 or 9 of these major, everybody thinks of me a beast, but I have wing T, double wing, T formation,
Mhm.
single wing. I got them all the main formations, even a spread. So once I did that and went through all the research, because I'm a research geek, I'm just not drawing the plays up. I'm actually reading about 10 books or playbooks and stuff online and getting it all together to confirm what I'm doing. And oh my God, just drawing that stuff out defensively too, drawing
Mhm.
it out, understanding really what happens is crazy. And what you learn and what I've learned is offense, it's all the same. It's
That's a
not
lot of
it's
truth to
not
that.
it's not several things. It's actually all this one holistic system. There's not many formations, it's offense.
Mhm.
And it helped me because I wrote all these offensive books. I'm usually the defensive coordinator, if you can believe it. I'm a defensive guy.
Mhm.
And so I know when you come out in a formation, what's probably the 5 plays that are going to be run for that formation.
Yep. Mhm.
And that is a game changer. And offensively, as an offensive guy, if you're studying defenses and where that is, like the 6'2 wide tackle, that B gap in the flats, in one, if there's one deep, you can send 2 deep, and that guy's got to make a decision. Okay, so I know those are the weaknesses.
Mhm.
So that drawing those out, and I know it's a pain in the butt because I've drawn 3,000 plays offensively and
Mm.
defensively, probably 5 or 1,000. It really makes a huge difference actually to hand draw them on a yellow pad, write some notes, and understand it how it works together. And I will say, I love Dave Nelson. Dave
Mhm.
Nelson is the wing T originator with Tubby in
Mhm.
Delaware. I loved his books before I knew he was actually the wing T person. But once I got his original wing T books and the Tubby books, study the wing T. Most everything has got put into the wing T because it's multi formation and then comes out of the wing T. It is amazing if you really study the wing T, you can pretty much understand all offenses. So yes,
That's a
draw
fact.
them out by hand.
And it's so interesting you say that. I have a notepad in my book bag, and that's where I'm keeping my notes for compiling an offense in the future, a beast high school beast style offense.
Right.
And because if you hand draw it, you remember it.
Yeah, there's that research that says you hand when you
Mhm.
write or draw with your hands, you remember it better than versus online. Yes, it's a big deal.
And I think for me too, for the players, I used to spend all this time creating this wonderful looking playbook, which is great. I think that can be helpful, but I think they remember it better when they actually have to draw what they're doing. And you're not just handing them something and they just look at it and go, "Oh, okay," and then they don't remember what's going on.
Yeah, I love that you said that because for my older backs, I asked them to draw the plays.
That's
And my
good.
2
That's really
sons,
good.
why they always a lot of people always say, our coaches' sons, do they have a head start? Well, my sons
Mhm.
basically drew plays from when they were 4 and 5 because I would draw
Oh,
the plays
wow.
out and give them to them, say, "Hey, draw this," and they would color them and think it was fun.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
And
so
I
you
found
and I are
Go
like
ahead.
simpatico.
I agree. There's like this is why I love doing the podcast. And because I would do these, I would put our playbook on huddle, and you can draw it really detailed with
Oh, it's
rules and all that kind
beautiful.
of stuff. But then I'd see that only 5 kids had looked at it.
Yeah,
And
it's frustrating.
I would ask some of the guys who hadn't looked at it, who were good players, they were conscientious, they wanted to learn. I said, "Guys, why don't you look at this?" They said, "Coach, we want you to teach it to us." And light bulb, like, just went off in my head. Light bulb. They wanna be taught what to do, not just look at a playbook.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the couple of things that I do, I ask them to draw, and for me,
Mhm,
like if I'm doing a playbook, I'll draw the plays up on blank sheets with
mhm,
highlighters and markers, so I can do reds and make notes and put them in uh, play sheet protectors
mhm,
and put them in a binder, and I'll use that to go through practice and perfect like what's going to happen. And then once that's perfected, I'll throw it over into PowerPoint and then update it from there, and then that'll
mhm,
get to a playbook. And now I'm moving stuff over. It's been a hard thing for me to move over, but football play card is kind of
mm,
this new draw partner where I'm drawing plays out there and they can be animated. I think
mhm,
there's some things going on there, but even if you do all that, that old fashioned draw it up, use some highlighters, you know, it's old school style. That really will help you learn whatever thing you're trying to learn because of that brain hand coordination thing that happens in your brain.
mhm. I mean, your material is beautiful and it's great for coaches to learn, but I think when coaches buy it, they should then draw out the things they
Ah,
want to use from the system because then they need to learn it too, of how to teach it.
yeah, I tell coaches that all the time and they look at me like, "What?" But, it's funny. I consult with coaches, like right now during the playoffs, I got a couple of them, and they're asking me, "What should I do first? We want you to go through film." And I'm like, "You know what? Before I go through film, you need to go through film and draw out the plays yourself on a
Mhm,
yellow pad because that's gonna help you remember, like, when you're trying to call a play, you'll know what they're doing. And I can tell you this, and I can put the work in, but really, you need to learn how to do it. And if you do it right, when say you're a defensive coordinator, usually you'll see that formation come up, you'll remember the key that was in the drawing, and you know exactly what to call. Because I'll get to where I know what's gonna happen on a play. A friend of mine, the opposing coach, he about after the game, he's like, "I had to change my offense at halftime because you were calling every play for your for defense, and it was the exact same play that I had on my sheet."
mhm.
So, yeah, so drawing plays is a huge advantage, and yes, it's a lot of work, like searching on Google.
Right, right. You have to go past just the first, names that come up or the first, suggestion it gives you.
Yeah, I mean, really, a lot of good stuff is on the 3rd and 5th page if you wanna really geek out. It's
Mhm,
people like me, well, I'm good too, but I know how to manipulate search engines, and so if you really wanna find a lot of good stuff, go through like 5 pages.
mm. That's
That'll
good.
really get you
I
there.
did a podcast today about scatter reports, and I think, like, at the high school level, we have huddle, and you have huddle assist, which can break
Yeah.
down stuff for you, but I think the old school hit chart with the formation and then the play and then tallying where the play hits, I'm
Wide,
going to go
short,
back and do
1st
that.
down. This is the 3rd play, 4th
Yes.
play on the series. They dumped
Mhm.
it here. Yeah, all that really teaches you, so much, and it's unfortunate. I mean, the automation is certainly good if you don't have time, but I think the old
Right.
way is the best way still.
And it teaches you as a coach that, like, it's not don't always take the easy way out. People say work smarter, not harder, and I push back against that. I think that you have to put in a certain amount of time and effort to learn what the other team's doing and what you really want to do. Because don't take, I mean, I'm just saying, don't take the easy way out. When you're going through looking at clinics and ideas, go and just dive into it. Don't get the 30-minute talk and then think, oh, I got this figured out because you watched the guy do a clinic on it for 45 minutes. You know what I mean?
No, that's it's very interesting you said that. We back in 2006 at the end of the season, we were running a lot of beast. I didn't have the backs, but we knew through a draft we were going to get these 2 really fast kids, and I was really into American Football Monthly magazine. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
Oh, yeah. I know
I
what
used
you're
to
talking about. Yeah.
subscribe. Yeah. And they had Dale Wiener's spin offense, which was kind of a wing T, single wing spinner thing. So I
Mhm.
got really into that and was playing around with that and had to adjust it down to a youth thing, which I call speed now. But I also looked at it because a friend of mine goes, "Oh, that's really close to Volaton's double wing thing, but you're kind of
Yep.
spread out." And I was like, "Oh," so I went out and bought Volaton's book. And so I took two of those things together and started piecing what I call speed together to mesh it into what I could use. So you're right. I mean, you can't just take one thing there. If you kind of take a couple of things, two or three, you'll get to the answer you're looking for, I think. And a lot of us will stop at one. Okay, this is going to be what's guaranteed. A lot of times you can improve on some of this for either your roster or what you're thinking inside the way it should work.
Mhm. Yeah, and I find when you during the off season, you need to do your research on your team to
Yes.
know what am I going to study? I can't study everything. And
Right.
then I should go deep into that, deep into the details and really be a student and learn that all the way through. And to me, that's just like the Glacier stuff. I guess people get stuff out of that in the Nike Clinic, like we talked about. But I have found to go find what you want to learn and go dive into it and find somebody you trust who's done it and just go learn from them.
Yeah, I think at the end of the season, I mean, I think you got a couple of goals that you want to learn, and then you look at those team things. Where are the weaknesses? What
Mm,
can I improve on? Your strengths you've already got. You can solidify some of that, but like, what are these three or five areas that I really have to hone in on? And really, that's really you go because you you can't do 10 or 20. So what are the
mhm,
3 things that I can do this season or 5 that are really gonna be worthwhile and give me the biggest benefit? You can go through that pro con, grade it out and say, "Okay, these are the 5 that are gonna let me score or not give up points." Like if you fumbled every other snap, well, it's like,
oh,
well, I'm
jeez.
going to figure out how to teach a shotgun snap to a center, and I'm gonna learn how this works so I can teach this and solve this problem. So, I mean, that's a very simplistic one, but like right
Mhm.
now on my goal is because I'm a youth coach is coverages, all the different
Ah,
coverages, high
okay.
school coverages. I want to learn and be more up on that, what those are versus cover three, cover zero, cover one, what
Mhm,
are the other fancy kind of coverages are going on. I really want to do that and look
mhm,
at that. And then I'm trying to write an addendum of 335, 425 book to my 6-2 book. So
mhm.
that's where I'm going right now. Those are the things I'm looking at. What are you
Nice.
looking at? Are you looking at anything interesting?
Oh my gosh. I mean, obviously the beast stuff, the things you sent me, I looked
Well,
through
we
that
can
and then
always zoom on that.
we could.
I
We
may have
definitely
to fly
will.
up there when you start coaching. Actually,
That would be good. That would be
yeah.
fantastic. I'm doing that. There's a high school in Georgia that I'm watching their film on NFHS, and I'm going to talk with him in the off season. He was the guy I showed you. I sent you the picture of. It's double fullbacks, the quarterback, double tight, receivers
Oh yeah,
out wide.
yeah.
Uh, I'm going to get with him in the off season some, and I'm also looking at like just a lot of empty variations, like really no tailback beside the quarterback because that's so hard to defend, especially with tight ends. I
Yes.
think without a tight end, it's okay, but one tight end, two's better. That's really hard to deal with. And defensively, I started my career as a 3-3-5 defensive coordinator as a
Okay.
coordinator. That's where I started.
Right.
And that's something I will go back to because it's so easy to install, but it's so hard to play against if you have a good systematic way of calling your blitzes into 3-3-5.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm assuming you're blitzing a lot in that versus
You know,
hanging
it's
back.
interesting. The year my first year as a coordinator, we started the year with a lot of five-man blitzes, but as we got better at block recognition,
Oh yeah, your level. Yeah.
it's the blitz was just built in. When they saw this block, they triggered so fast
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
that it was we weren't wasting a guy in the B gap if the play was outside. He saw it and was phew, he was gone.
he's gone.
Um, and then we weren't very big, we were really fast. So it worked in our favor running
Speed
that style of
kills.
defense.
I came up with this the other day. Speed kills, and so
Mhm.
does stupid.
And so does going fast in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's the stupid part. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
There's that. There's that. What else did I have on here? Oh, for youth coaches and high school coaches, there are tons of Facebook groups out there too. I've got
Mhm.
one. Kenny Simpson has one. I mean, just about any type of private group out there you can find thousands of coaches in some of these and learn. Just be careful so you don't get catfish. Make sure you know who's answering the question there. They can be helpful, but you kind of have to understand what's going on there. The thing that I do the most is I love old football coaching books prior to the 1990s, definitely 70s, 60s. I love those
Mhm.
books. Those coaches were so open and they would just put everything in these books. There is a ton of information that is sitting there. And so I try to buy at Christmas probably 10 to 20 of these. They may be $10 each or whatever. So I take my Christmas money and I'll buy 10 or 20 of these things. And I don't really care if they're, the best or whatever. But what I've found in these old books, there's 2 or 3 wisdom things in there that are crazy good. And if you're willing to go through and pull that out, man, that's some golden secrets right there.
Have you read, and I cannot remember the title, but I look at it every day because it's across from my desk at work, Bobby Dodd's book?
No, I haven't. What?
Oh my goodness. That is pure gold. Bobby Dodd wrote a book. I forget the name of it, but oh my gosh, it is like you
There's
said,
a
just a wisdom piece. Just
Yes.
wow. That's really good.
There's a book. It's called The Explosive Short Tea by Homer Rice. That's gold.
Okay.
That's gold.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he confirmed this movable blocking thing that I was doing forever. He's doing that, and I was like, "Okay, so this is a thing people have used in the past."
What is
So
movable blocking? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
so like in my fat cat formation or cake or fat whatever I call it, it's like a single wing variation. There's 2
Mhm.
backs and then there's 2 blocking backs. And I can do this in Beast Hydra. I just haven't formalized it yet. But those 2 blocking backs, okay? So if I call, say, a 26 lead power,
Mhm.
those 2 blocking backs will go to the 6 hole, tap the tackle in the end, set up right behind them, and we have done a nasty split and we go right downhill.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
they
okay.
can move. Or I can say, fat cat left, blocking backs uh, to the 6. And so they
Mhm,
can set up on the other side. So I can move these blocking backs. It's also like that box ABC formation thing. I think I sent
mhm,
that to you. So if you
mhm.
call C or A, one will set up in the C, the other will set up in the opposite A gap. And so I have grown to where I like to move my blocking back, especially at the youth level,
Mm,
up to the hole to help that out. Now we also have a stealth call and we have some counters to that. But
mm,
I'm really into these I call them adjustable blocking backs or alpha beta backs, and
hmm.
they move up and down the line.
I like that. I'm starting to read one right now. It's actually my microphone's on the book. It's Bill Parcells's book, Finding a Way to Win.
Yeah, I've read that one. That's good.
Yeah, I think I'm through like the first chapter and a half, and it's the
The
wisdom in there is so good
Yeah, the Bear
that
Bryant book is really good, and the Tom Landry one autobiography is really good too.
mm,
Those
Tom.
in the Leech book. Oh my god.
I've read that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've read Mike Leach's book. He was such a character. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's too bad about, who was the coach's kid, or the announcer's kid?
And he kind of made that story up, right? What was his name? Well, I forget the guy's name,
Yeah,
but
he was one of the, SMU the 2 SMU backs, Eric Dickerson and the other one was
Craig James. There you go.
Greg James. Yeah, that's too bad about that. Let's see what else. Oh, so a guy in my forum, and I think it comes up. Another thing that a lot of coaches don't focus on is the whole motivational sports psychology
Mm,
thing piece.
I
And
agree.
I know I probably could get better at that, but I know a coach in one of the forums is really big on that whole sports psychology thing. Um, you know, they tell Olympians to visualize winning and things like that. So there's some things around that that would probably be interesting to learn if you haven't got into that. And then what else is here?
I
I
liked
heard
your
that
last point a lot too.
I heard this today. Yeah, I was about to. I heard this today on a TikTok or whatever, and I subscribed to him. If you go to my TikTok, he's under one of my subscriptions that's recent. I forget his name, but would I play for myself as a player? Am I the
Mm,
coach that I'm wanting my players to love? Why or why not? And that is in that self-reflection piece, right? You've got to be honest with yourself. I know the one things that I say is like 20% of the complaints are, there's complaints, but 20% of that, there's something in there that you've got to figure out. But
mhm.
would I want to play for myself? Would you want to play for yourself?
I think now, yes. Early in my career, probably not. No, I was projecting toughness, air quotes, and old school because that's what I thought was successful. I think you have to have accountability and have a standard. But I had a coach tell me this a couple. This is years ago now, but he said it's better if they like you, and that changed it right there. He was a guy that won a couple state championships. We would become close. He coaches in Ohio, and that was an aha moment for me. Like, oh, that makes sense.
So I would say, as a select travel team coach, I probably wouldn't want to play for me because I
That's
become
funny.
Coach O'Neill from ninth grade, eighth and ninth grade. I'm a little bit meaner and everything means a little bit more, even though, but as
Sure.
a youth rec coach, yes, I would love to play with
Hmm.
me. I give out a lot of stickers and ice cream, and we have a lot of fun. But I was younger when I was doing
Hmm.
the select travel. So yeah, as I've gotten older, you're right. I mean, you want the kids to respect and like you and know that you're knowledgeable. And so I think that's the key. If they like you, they'll run through the wall for you.
Yeah, and I think too with especially at the high school level, the way kids can transfer now,
Yeah.
I, I think you have to be careful with being the old school guy because I mean, if you're winning, that covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
But as soon as that doesn't take place, it's hard to keep them going if it's a fear based program.
Right.
And I think you just have to stay away from that, in my opinion, these days.
Yeah. And what's so funny about me as a select coach is I hated the coaches that did what I was doing.
Hmm.
So I was young and over the top. So that's probably what I'm going to blame that on.
Well, I had a coach tell me one time it's better to start that way than dial it back because
Yeah.
if you don't have it at all at the beginning, it's probably coaching is probably not really the career for you if you don't have that fire to begin with. That's really somebody has to tell you, hey, let's tone that down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they call it what the sandwich of hey, let's do this. This is what you did wrong, but hey, you can
Right.
do it. I forget what the good sandwich or whatever to end with that, especially at the youth football thing.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's that was an interesting question. So I think one of you guys in the comments answer that question. Would you play for yourself? Uh, would you play for that coach? I would
Mm.
say yes right now. I would. And even though Coach O'Neill was a little tough, I would play for him again and run through the wall for him. So
Hmm.
there's that too.
Hmm. Yeah, I think we have to give ourselves grace too because we're doing the best we can with what we got, and we're always growing as coaches. But give yourself some grace because we all make mistakes and we all try to get better.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think what a lot of people don't know, and I wanted to do this on another podcast, but I can say this is one, I don't think teachers get paid enough, especially coaches, because they're putting a lot of time in. The majority of us youth coaches do not get paid.
Right.
So we would appreciate that grace. 'Cause
Absolutely.
if we knew it all, we would be in the NFL coaching.
Absolutely, yes. We'd be coaching on Sundays, and that's a whole nother thing I've thought about because I had an opportunity to maybe get into that, but that seemed like that's a long road, especially if you get married young. I don't know. You
Yeah,
have to
I
be
think that's
single to do that.
yeah, I've heard Mike Leach, like, slept on couches and things for years
Mhm.
before. I think that's a single man's kinda game to go through that process because they kinda
Mhm.
make you a grunt. It's kinda like a hazing thing to get up through that process, right?
Oh, it for sure is hazing. It's the mindset is, "I had to do this when I was making my way up, and now you have to do this."
Yeah, so that would be tough, but, I think we've done a heck of a job on this one. If you guys
Yeah,
have
I
any
like
other
that one.
questions, hit us up, but I think the thing is initiative on you guys' part, really.
Mhm.
Take that initiative to find out what you need to learn and get through it, and I think the other thing is good luck in your playoffs, and remember to play for fun, and winning is funner, especially in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, it is not all about winning, but like you said, it is much more fun to win.
It is. It is. Those trophies look really good too. The kids love them
Absolutely.
and the parents. All right,
And the
Zach,
parents.
been a great night.
Yes, Steve, thank you for doing this, and we'll be back again at it next week.
Oh, great. Ciao, man. Ciao, everybody.